Hi, everybody. Welcome back to AI Collectibles. What I have for you today is the Mezco 112 Collective Popeye and Bluto Stormy Seas Ahead Deluxe Box Set. Now, what I'm going to do is lay these guys out with their accessories and show you what they have, so stay tuned. Okay, so here's Bluto and Popeye laid out in front of you with all their accessories. And Mezco sure puts the deluxe in the deluxe box set. So let's go through some of the accessories. We'll go through the least exciting ones first. They both come with your typical stand with an anchor on it. Comes with the plastic to protect it from scratches. And it also has this little nub that you can pop out. And you can use one of these stands, the more flexible ones. And they usually just pop right in. And they have, nice posability for like jumping and flying, which these guys don't fly, but for jumping poses, they're nice. And then you get the typical Mezco accessory bags, that little Ziploc bags that they come with. So now we will look at Popeye's accessories, and he comes with a nice set of pipes that are smoking and not smoking, and they're very delicate, so I would suggest being very careful. I was worried about breaking it, stuffing it into his mouth, but it's got some nice detail. Like, this is really tiny. I got big mitts, so the puff of cloud. He's got 3 of those. Come on. And then he comes with 3 of the not lit pipes. Have a little hole in there. Even there's like a nice little black paint on the tip there. Again, you're going to want to be really careful with those. That's probably why they give you 3 of each, because they're pretty tiny and pretty delicate, so you wouldn't want to break one. Now we'll look at his different hands. So he's got a nice grasping palm here, and he's got some nice dirt and details around his nails, which is pretty cool. Then another palm. And then you got his fisted palms, which it comes with. And again, look at that dirt and grime under the fingernails. That's really cool. And then the other arm, the other hand. He also comes with a compass, which has some nice little painted details on it. It's got that anchor on there, and it closes and opens. And then he's got his closed spinach can. And then I got him grasping his smushed one. And it's got some nice painted details and spinach oozing out. And then he's got his periscope, which is cool, and it also opens up, collapses fully actually. And it looks like it's got some nice plastic there. And then fully opens up again. And then he's got his dirty sailor's hat. It's got some nice ribs, some nice painted details. They all got magnets in them. And then he's got what we would call here in Canada his toque. He's got a nice little toque. Puts on his head. This one doesn't have a magnet, but it looks like it'll probably designed to fit his dome a little better. And the stitching, like a knitted little cap, so that's a nice detail. And then he's got his, I guess, a captain's hat. And some nice dirt and grime on there. Also another magnet. And I missed his sands because I swapped them out, so he's got this nice pointing hand. And then another grasping hand. And then he's got his anchors tattooed on his forearms. And then we'll look at the head sculpt here quick. Nice looking head sculpt, man. Like, Mezco really killed it with these guys, with the detail and the paint apps. And then he's got the little hole that his pipe fits in, and it looks great. And he's got some nice painted details. The only thing that really bothers me is I seem to have a lot of like little loose strings on mine, but I mean, like anything, over time your clothes wear out, and he's got kind of a dirtier look to him, so it doesn't really bug me that much. He's got nice white pants. Who knows how long they'll stay white for. And then he's got his boots. No treads on the bottom, just flat, but it's got holes for holding, like, so he can stand up. Foot pegs there. And yeah, he's pretty awesome. Let's go through the other head sculpts here. Here's the other one. Everything pops off really nice and easy too, which is nice. And then he's got more of a beaten up head sculpt. Nice lump. Some blood dripping from his nose. Some marks are on his nose. And then nice shiner. And he comes with his bag. It says Popeye on it. And the strings tighten up. You can put stuff in there if you want. And then he comes also with his raincoat. So he's got a nice rain hat here. No magnet, but I imagine it just slides on his head pretty easily. So, yeah. Takes a little bit, but you throw it on there. There you go. Looks pretty great. And then he's got his jacket. Some nice buttons on there. I'm gonna guess it's probably Velcro, yeah. Pockets aren't usable, but that's okay. But yeah, some nice soft fabric. Nice jacket, actually. And then he's got his raincoat. I imagine these are going to be fun to get on and off just because of the design of his forearms. But then also Velcro. But yeah, some nice stitching details in there. And little buttons. It's a nice jacket. Now Bluto's accessories. We'll start with the hands first. It's got a couple of holding hands here. And also nice dirt around the nails fingernails and stuff, which is really nice. And then he has 2 fisted hands, one he has on him. And he has 2 of these grasping hands, which he also has one on him. Then we'll go to his hook. And it has some nice paint apps and wraps around the handle there. And it's made to look like a dirty old hook. And then he's got his weight, 300 pounds on there. But this is made out of real metal, which is pretty cool. It's a nice feature. And then I imagine you can just grab it with one of his hands. One of his grasping hands, like so. And then he's got his, just dropped Popeye on his butt. And then he has his crescent wrench, which is nice. And it's also steel. And then we have his second head sculpt here. Just got a nice shiner. This is his. It looks like he's got some bruising. But yeah, this is for when he's fighting Popeye. And then we'll just take a look at his other head sculpt, which is nice. I don't know. He looks angry, but he also looks like he's taking a shit, so there's that. And then he's got his nice hat here, blue and black. And it's got a magnet to hold his head, and then you can see how like the hair is sculpted into the hat. So I guess it's like, so when it sits on his head, it'll sit kind of in the grooves. And then we'll take a look at him and his outfit. I like how they added like this little dirt and like grime to his shirt and his pants. Just gives it a nice little attention to detail. And then he's got a nice, like, I want to say that's leather, but I think the belt's made out of molded plastic. That's one piece, which doesn't seem to disconnect anywhere. I imagine it does. It was probably glued shut though. You see, he's even got dirt on his back and his arms there. And then he's got a nice collared shirt. And his boots, which have grips on them. And they kind of look like the grips of my work boots. And he's got a nice undershirt there. So, while I got him up here, let's start with the articulation. So he's got a nice waist joint, but it's tough. It's pretty solid. And then his arms go up about that high. I don't know if I could get it higher if I pushed it. But there's no swivel, bicep swivel. But there is elbow swivel and a single jointed elbow. You don't get a lot of movement. I think the shirt restricts the joint a little bit. But it's got a nice elbow swivel as well. Then the fists, your typical ball jointed fist, and they swap out really easy. Like pop it off. It's got a nice big peg there. Like, he's a meaty boy. Big figure. Sturdy. Fix his collar up a little bit. And then it's got, can look up that high, look down, side to side. And then his legs, they have just a joint in here, not double jointed. And you don't get a lot, you get about that much. And then same with the leg, it's pretty stiff. So you get about that much forward. And not a whole lot back. And then you get some ankle pivot and a little bit of movement, but not a lot. Oh, and I almost forgot his leather jacket. It's got some nice buttons on it there. Obviously it's made of pleather. And then same thing, Velcro attachment. It's got some nice, it doesn't have any lining actually. That's just the back side of the material, and then it's sewn in. And then there's some padding in the shoulders. But it looks really nice. It's got some nice stitch work in there. And the collar. Yeah, it was a nice jacket. Now let's look at Popeye here. And some of his articulation. His head articulates up and down, side to side. But then he also has that extra bit of articulation at the base of the neck. And then he's got up and down, side to side. His arms could probably twist all the way around, but I don't want to bunch up the shirt too much. And then goes about that high. Again, no bicep swivel, but he's got the wrist or the elbow swivel. And then your same typical ball jointed wrist pegs, depending on how you move them. And then he's got some ab crunch and waist articulation. His legs, the pants are restricted enough so you're not going to be able to get him to do the splits. And they go forward about that much, go back a little more than Bluto does. He has double jointed knees. And then the boots are cut so they have a joint, so that the boot, bottom of the boot, moves separately from the top of the boot. So you get some nice ankle pivot. You're not going to get crazy wide stances with these guys, but still pretty cool. Fix that up a little bit. And there you go. I think overall, I think they're great figures. Bluto is sturdy, not as posable as I would like, but he is a sturdy, strong figure. I like the fact that his metal accessories are made out of metal, which is pretty cool. And I like the extra head sculpts and the jacket. Popeye is awesome. I missed out on the first two versions, so I like the outfit. I can't wait to get some of the other jackets and stuff on them and pose them up, try out the different sculpts and the different hats. And I like the paint apps and the, attention to detail with like the dirt and stuff around Bluto's costume and their hats and like the dirt grime under their fingernails. It's just, it's a lot of nice little added paint touches there that a lot of people or a lot of figure makers don't go through that extra step to do. So overall, I'm pretty impressed. I'm glad I didn't skip out on these guys because like I said, I'm in my previous video, huge Popeye fan from when I was a kid. So glad to have this pair together and all the different options for being able to pose them and display them. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this set. So yeah, that's my review. And again, you know what to do. If you like my videos, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I put out new videos. And until my next video, I'm out of here.